The desires you silence do not vanish, they wait. That's not a warning. It's a psychological law. Carl Jung didn't speak of sex as a simple act or biological need. He saw it as a metaphor for something far deeper, the suppressed forces of the psyche. You can wrap it in guilt, you can cover it with religion, you can even preach purity. But the libido doesn't die, it morphs, it moves, and it haunts. Ever wondered why you're drawn to power, why you fantasize about control, fame, or validation? It's not always ambition, sometimes it's your suppressed sexuality wearing a mask. See, in Jung's world, the libido wasn't just sexual energy, it was the life force itself. And when this energy is shamed, shunned, or ignored, it doesn't go away. It gets buried deep into your unconscious, where it grows teeth. And once it's buried, it begins its rebellion. It whispers through dreams. It screams through addictions. It disguises itself as virtue. It even shows up in your relationships, not as love, but as manipulation. Jung called it the shadow. The shadow is everything you reject, everything society told you is wrong, sinful, shameful, and nothing is more feared or more hidden than raw, unfiltered sexual energy. So what happens when you don't confront it? You become obsessed with control, not just of others, but of yourself. You moralize your desires, demonize your instincts, and eventually you fracture. You think you're above it, that you've tamed your urges, but in truth, you've just given them a new costume. They now operate behind the scenes, influencing your every choice while you believe you're free. The truth, you're not. And the more you deny the shadow, the more it controls the script of your life. But what if, instead of denial, you integrated it? What if you stopped pretending you were a saint and started understanding your demons? Jung didn't want you to act on every desire. He wanted you to face them, to know them, because only then could you transform them. The fire you deny doesn't extinguish. It waits. And one day, it burns through everything you thought you were. Society doesn't train you to understand yourself. It trains you to package yourself. You become a good boy, a respectable man, a mature adult. But beneath those labels lies something raw. Eros. Not just sexual desire, but the primal hunger to connect, to express, to feel fully alive. Carl Jung knew this split well. On one side, persona, the mask you wear to survive in a social world. On the other, eros, the chaotic, life-giving force that threatens that mask. And here's the truth most never accept. Your persona isn't you. It's your costume, your survival tool. And the more refined it becomes, the more distant you grow from your real self. You go on dates and hide your intensity. You go to work and swallow your truth. You smile politely while your instincts scream inside. Why? Because the world doesn't reward realness. It rewards presentation. And that's the trap. When you suppress eros to fit your persona, you may appear in control. But inside, you're divided. And that inner war, it leaks into your relationships, into your career, into your sanity. You chase validation from women, not because you love them, but because their attention confirms your persona is working. You suppress lust, and then it mutates into obsession or perversion or power addiction. You deny your erotic imagination, and it reappears in dreams, in guilt, in sudden bursts of shame you can't explain. This isn't sin, it's shadow. And the more unaware you are of it, the more it runs your life. So how do you reclaim yourself? Not by acting out every impulse, but by listening, by sitting in silence and asking, what do I truly want, not what looks good on paper? You'll find that eros isn't just about sex. It's about vitality, creativity, the urge to express your truth without shame. The moment you begin honoring that urge, even privately, your life starts shifting. You stop needing constant approval. You stop molding yourself to fit every situation. And slowly, you start becoming whole. Jung didn't want you to destroy your persona. He wanted you to stop worshipping it, because when you worship the mask, you forget the man. And the moment you forget the man, the shadow becomes the puppeteer. Most men don't repress desire because they're strong. They repress it because they're afraid of what it would say about them. In a culture obsessed with discipline, control becomes the highest virtue. But Jung warned, what you resist persists. And nowhere is that truer than in sexuality. You tell yourself you've conquered lust, but deep down you've only buried it. Beneath politeness, beneath ambition, beneath spirituality. The result: a man split in half. One half presents, calm, kind, in control. The other half dreams in secret, of chaos, of dominance, of surrender. You don't choose these images. They rise from the unconscious, from every desire you refuse to look at, and every part of yourself you called wrong. Carl Jung called this the return of the shadow, not as a demon, but as a demand. Face what you've hidden, or be ruled by it. And here's the dark irony. The man who suppresses his sexual self in the name of virtue often becomes more manipulative, not less. He doesn't flirt. He plays nice until the moment he expects something. He doesn't pursue. He waits, watching, then blames when he's rejected. He builds a persona of safety only to explode when it's not validated. This isn't self-control. This is a controlled implosion, because when desire isn't acknowledged, it doesn't vanish. It festers. It grows teeth. And soon it's no longer about connection. It's about conquest. It's about ego. It's about proving power, not sharing intimacy. This is how good men become bitter. This is how nice guys become predators, not through evil, but through unexamined hunger. So what's the alternative? Radical honesty, not to the world, to yourself, to admit, yes, I want to be seen. Yes, I want to be desired. Yes, I have fantasies that scare me. Yes, I'm more complex than I pretend to be. And no, that doesn't make you evil. It makes you human. In Jung's words, I'd rather be whole than good, because good is often a mask, but wholeness is liberation. The tragedy isn't that sex controls your mind, it's that you don't even know when it happens, because society doesn't attack your desire directly, it hijacks it, subtly. It whispers, be desirable, but not too much. Express your masculinity, but only the approved kind. Want women, but never admit how much. This double bind creates confusion. So you split again. You become a performer, not a lover. An actor playing maturity, confidence, depth. While inside, you feel hollow. The world teaches you to sedate the instinct, but rewards those who exploit it. Look around. The ads sell you sex. The influencers mimic seduction. The culture monetizes your frustration. You're told to rise above, but punished if you don't play the game. And those who play it best, they're not always the most attractive, they're the most aware. They understand something primal, that desire is power, but only when it's claimed. This is what Carl Jung meant by integration, not moral perfection, but wholeness, owning the beast within, so no one else can leash it. Because when your shadow is unclaimed, it becomes a weapon for someone else. They'll use it to sell you, to shame you, to control you. But when you walk into the darkness willingly, when you name the hunger, you take it back. Suddenly, you're no longer reactive. You're intentional. Your eyes see clearer. Your decisions come from wholeness, not lack. Your energy becomes magnetic, not manipulative. That's when power returns, not from suppression, but from acceptance. The paradox is real. The more honest you are about your desire, the less it controls you. So don't ask, how do I stop being driven by lust? Ask instead, what am I truly hungry for? And here's the final question, the one few dare to ask. What if the part of you you've been hiding is actually the key to your deepest power?